questions.
Hey guys, it's us again. We've been gone for a minute. Now we're back with the jump off. As you may remember, or if you don't, I'll go through a quick introduction of both of us. I'm Lindsay Haran.
Alexis.
I'm Kiana.
And, we are just young African-American professionals living in New York, and we just like to capture our thoughts on video. And this session in particular has come about because I was reading the current November issue of Essence with Idris Elba on the cover, Sexy Chocolate Brother. And, there are a few articles in here that really caught my attention. And I was really, for Black love, for women of color, in terms of, dating and different spectrums and things that, encompass all of these aspects. And I was just, so enthralled. I went to work and was talking about it and had this conversation with my roommate. And we started a dialogue that was kind of interesting. And we said, hey, let's capture this online because we feel that you guys would also agree. And it's a great conversation to have. So part one of this conversation comes because as you see on the cover, it says Black Woman's Web Guide to Meet a Man and Stay Safe.
You have to
Meet a man, stay safe.
Wait a minute, you got it all bent.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
And for me, I was very captured by this because I said, in the age of 25, which is creeping around the corner, if I was in a relationship, I was going to try online dating. And what do you know? The answer to our prayers. In the Essence issue, it's an article called When Love Clicks.
By Demetria Lucas.
Yes, and she also has a book out.
And
all
a
you
blog,
single women out there, get it popping, okay? So basically, it just talks about Black women. We should open up to the web because you meet so many more people. When you're working, you're so confined to that office space for 5 days out of the week. And we work in advertising, so we definitely don't have a 9 to 5. So there's no way that we ever know what's going on. So you kind of have to make the most of the time that you're not in the office. And they're saying, online dating gives you a bigger pool of men to choose from, which is true. You don't have to sugarcoat what you're looking for. You put it all out there. And whoever is willing to take that is who responds to that. So it's you don't have to go through as much BS, even though you still do when you meet up. But it's kind of less to go through. But what are your guys' thoughts on online dating? Because I know you guys are not as open to it as I.
I'm very weary about the whole online dating thing. Lexus and I guess we kind of have the same belief that it's just a form of desperation. I just feel like we are just very young.
You're desperate.
Kind of. Because basically, think about it. The reason why you're waiting until you're 25 is because what you wanted to happen hasn't happened. So now you're just I really want a man. I know I'm not going to meet him, organically. So, we want to be romantic. So, we're we're on the train. Your hand just happened to touch somebody while you're grabbing the pole. It's like a little spark of electricity. Your eyes meet, and it's a connection. Versus online, it's kind of you don't get that full, initial connection when you first meet somebody. It's kind of oh, I read your profile. I like your interests. You like my interests. Let's get together. It's more establishing a friendship, which is important. But it relaxes the whole romantic aspect of it, the whole... I don't know. It's just
I just
not
feel like
the same
it's
initial
not very organic. It feels more interviewee. I feel like I'm being put up for a job interview, and I don't like that. Looking at profiles, seeing where we match versus meeting somebody on a train or at the library or at a poetry club with a Lorenz Tate type. I feel like that would just be more natural.
I'm not saying I don't want to meet somebody in one of those settings because I would much rather prefer to do so. I'm just saying. Online dating, I don't discount it because, it does give you the option of meeting people not based on mere looks. Because when somebody comes up to me, if I don't think they're that cute, I may grow to, learn a lot about them. I'm going to shut them down quicker. Whereas if I know kind of what they're working with from the top, compatibility and all those things, it may give you a wider spectrum to choose from. And it gives you a much larger pool of people. It's not like saying you have to go out with all these people. You just kind of chat and see who you get a feel for the most, and then you take it from there. I'm just saying, the people that I be seeing on these websites look mighty happy on eHarmony and
because they're ads and they're hired models. But here's my thing. It's pretty much you go on these websites, and I don't feel like everybody's filling out their profile oh, I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for a serious relationship. You're going to put, I'm looking for friendship. I'm looking to network. You put these type of things in there. then you have to send a message to somebody to get to know them, and somebody's not going to put, like, all the things they want. They're probably going to put something like, send me a message and we can talk about it later, or something like that. So it's kind of like everything's going to really be looks focused, versus if you meet somebody on a train, you may not be necessarily attracted to them, but they can have good conversation, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because of this. Online, anybody can talk online. You don't know if these people, what they're saying is actually them talking. It could be their friend chatting for them. They could not even be the person they, like, make themselves out to be online. I mean, not all the times, because I have, like, friends that I've been friends with on Twitter for, like, years. I was on LiveJournal, so I have friends from there. So, I mean, I know the whole, like, how you can build relationships online. But when it comes to, like, dating, you're going to be way more open with this person than you would be somebody that's a friend you're meeting.
That's just a sign of, like, me giving up. So maybe, like, when I'm closer to 30 and I have nobody,
young enough,
then I would be
kind of approaching the fence.
She's young. She has time on her side. Your
yeah,
clock is not ticking. I'm almost at the pinnacle point of your life where you kind of want things to be in order. These people organically hasn't really gotten me anywhere, because all that's out there are these people on that BS, you know, and it ain't happening organically. So what am I going to do? Just keep waiting and thinking, oh, maybe it'll happen. I mean, I'm still hopeful and hoping that it can happen that way. But if not, you know, I can take control of the situation. If I don't like where I am, I can change it up. And it's not to say that I'm not going to still be out and going out to different places, enjoying myself and, you know, maybe meeting somebody. But it's just that I'm putting myself in more places to meet more people. Because like I said, 5 out of 7 days I'm in an office, and I'm not going to meet nobody at no advertising event, more than likely. Unless
there are no brothers.
Yeah, there are no brothers.
Sometimes there are.
Very rarely.
Or
they're gay,
they're not checking
or
for
they're
us.
whack.
I look at it this way.
Or
the thing that I'm willing
women
to do to make myself find someone before my little, 25-year-old benchmark is kind of like, I know for a fact none of us, we don't approach guys when we go out. When we see somebody cute on the train, or we see somebody cute at a club, or wherever we are, we're not going to step to them because we're like, oh, the guy's supposed to talk to us or whatever. So I feel like it's the same thing online. Like online, we would have to approach these people and say, oh, I find you attractive. Can we get to know each other? So my thing is, I would rather just be that person that makes that step in real life to meet the person I want to meet, versus me going online.
But on the other hand, you can
then like wimping out and saying, oh, I see you're cute, and I'm behind like a profile picture, but I'm not in real life. I would rather try to do it that way.
I just feel like you're bold. The chances of you being bolder are online. Like, do you really see yourself in person approaching somebody at some point?
I don't, but I know I need to in order for me to be able to find someone. That's the thing. They're saying, like, women should be more aggressive in this day and age instead of being passive and expecting people to just come your way. Then there was another, I don't know if it was a blog or whatever it was, but it was saying, like, guys are the ones who decide who they're going to be with ultimately. Like, women, we may have, like, a type of what we feel like is attractive or who we want to be with, but we never end up with that because we're only allowed to have pretty much what approaches us. So if what approaches me is somebody who has dreads, wants to be a rapper, wears baggy clothes, that's not what I'm into. If that's the only thing that's coming after me, that's what I'm gonna end up with because I'm not. Mm-hmm.
You still got the power of free will.
I'll be by myself then, but that's what I'm saying.
Right,
but I'm saying, like, you still are kind of limited to what's coming to you.
Or you can open up your choices.
Yeah, you can definitely do so.
Date outside your race.
I mean, I get people that approach me.
Have you ever had a white dude like come up to you and was like trying to? I've never had a white guy.
I get plenty of people that come up to me that I'm not interested in. That don't mean I gotta say yes. That is just one of the people
we're single because we're not saying yes to people that come up to us.
Yeah, but I don't have to say okay just because. Just because who approaches me, that is not a symbolism of who I'm going to be with. Because anybody can approach me on the streets. That's not to say I'm going to get so tired of the wrong one coming up to me that I'm going to just be like, okay, fine, I'll go out with you.
I'm not saying you will, but I'm saying is, the point is, we're all single. Mm-hmm. So the thing, what's coming to us is obviously not what we're wanting. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're still single, because we have chosen not to go with what has come to us. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, if what we want is never going to come to us, does that mean we're going to be single forever?
So you're saying
we should go after what we want to get, or we're just going to still be single because what we want isn't coming to us. So we may see these really nice dressed black guys occasionally at an advertising event. We may say, oh, they're not trying to holler. They must like white girls, or they're gay, or whatever the reason is. But do we know that? No, because we haven't asked. We haven't talked to them. We never walked up to them and said, hey, how are you doing? You work in the same industry, blah, 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 blah. We never did any of that. So now, Like I was saying, we're limited to what is attracted to us because we're not going after what it is that we're attracted to.
True, but I'm too shy.
Yeah, I'm too shy too.
Exactly. So I feel like we need to break out of that mentality.
Oh.
Don't die on account of the video.
Need a break.
My eyes watering
a little bit.
Yes. But yeah, so basically I'm saying what I feel like my first step needs to be is to be more proactive in going after what it is that I want. Trying to at least, talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Break out of my comfort zone. Because if I go online and start looking for love, that's already going outside of my comfort zone. So why just not, do the parallel of that and break out of my comfort zone in real life?